It is my pleasure, and I'm going to introduce both of our speakers for this last session together, and then they will go one by one, of course. But it is my pleasure to begin a session where we have two so distinguished speakers as E.J. Dionne and Reverend William Barber. E.J. Dionne is a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, a syndicated columnist for the Washington Post. I must say parenthetically that one of the high points of moving from New York City down to Washington, D.C. Is to move from the New York Times op-ed page to the Washington Post op-ed page. And he is a university professor here at Georgetown University. He is a well-known author in addition to his life as a journalist and a commentator. Perhaps his best-known book is Why Americans Hate Politics, and his most recent book is Our Divided Political Heart, The Battle for the American Idea in an Age of Discontent. Reverend William Barber is known to us, I think, primarily as the founder of the Moral Mondays movement that started out in his home state of North Carolina. And because the need for it was so great, has now spread across the nation. I see this year that New York State had to bring you to Albany. And I must say, as a lifelong citizen of New York, having been born there and until the moment I came down there, having spent my whole life save college and graduate school, living there and teaching in its city schools and leading the teachers union, I have to say that it is a matter of great discontent in my soul that New York State now has the most segregated schools in the nation, segregated by race and by class, more segregated than Mississippi. So in New York State, we are really in dire need of your presence, Reverend Barber. Reverend Barber has also served as the president of the North Carolina NAACP, as the executive director of the North Carolina Human Relations Commission. He's been an adjunct instructor in a number of schools in North Carolina, and he is, of course, a person of the cloth in North Carolina as well. So let me turn, one last thing that I want to say, which I will remind you at the end. Reverend Barber has just written his own book with the help of Barbara Zelter called Forward Together. And at the conclusion of today, you can get yourself a copy signed by Reverend Barber. So don't leave. I know my friend Jessica Smith, she will take care of half of her Christmas list before she goes, and I suggest that you all join in that activity. E.J. Dionne.